state today.
Solzhenitsyn is credited with helping to change it forever. CBS News Special Report. I'm Harley Carr. WTOP News Time 7:32. Barack Obama, of course, has clinched the Democratic nomination for president. So now he says, let's go ahead and seat those delegates from Florida and Michigan. Give them full voting rights. Remember, they were given half a vote each at a very contentious party meeting after originally being denied the right to even sit in at the Democratic convention because they moved the dates of their primaries up to before February 5th. CBS News Director of Political Coverage, Steve Shigaris.
There may be some bitter Hillary Clinton people who would say, hey, where was Barack Obama in the spring on this?
WTOP News Time 7:32. Do the different paths of John McCain and Barack Obama, have the paths they've taken, support expanded offshore drilling, demonstrate how each would govern as president, that is, on the Sunday talk shows. Their supporters said they think so. McCain surrogates contend that his turn toward drilling, which he had once opposed, shows how he can respond to a crisis decisively. Obama supporters, though, argue their candidate's willingness to consider a bipartisan proposal, including more drilling, shows how he would pursue compromise to achieve results. New information on the anthrax attacks in 2001 as a scientist tells the Associated Press the DNA from the victims helped lead investigators to Bruce Ivins as a suspect. And Ivins also a topic of discussion on the Sunday talk shows.
One of the targets of the deadly 2001 anthrax letter attacks is far from convinced the case is over. Former Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle's office got one of the anthrax-laced letters not long after the September 11th attacks. It led to the closing of the Hart Senate office building for weeks. 5 people were killed by those letters, 17 others got sick. Daschle's not sure the FBI and the Justice Department have solved the case after the suicide of the latest government researcher to come under suspicion.
Given the fact that they already paid somebody else $5 million for the mistakes they must have made, gives you some indication of the overall caliber and quality of the investigation.
Daschle was on Fox News Sunday. Tom Foti, 103.5 FM, WTOP Radio.
The U.S. says the United Nations Security Council will have to increase sanctions on Iran for ignoring demands that it freeze sensitive nuclear activities. U.S. spokesman Richard Grenell, spokesman for the U.S. mission to the UN, made his statement a day after an informal deadline lapsed for Iran to respond to an offer from the United States, Britain, France, Germany, China, and Russia for talks about its disputed nuclear program. Grenell says it's clear Iran is not complying with UN demands. It isn't even interested in trying. And he says that leaves the Security Council no choice but to increase the sanctions. Coming up, Olympic coverage is coming that will swamp all competitors. I'm Evan Haining. WTOP News Time 7:34.
Many of you are wondering what your first HD radio experience will be like. That's normal and natural. Your first experience may be in a car, but only if you've got an HD radio receiver. So it's important to have one in your car at all times. Have one installed today. It's important for you and the HD station you want to hear.
Text the word upgrade to 34343 for the latest on HD. For an in-car expert near you, visit hdradio.com. It's time to upgrade. Standard text rates apply.
WTOP News Time 7:35. Coverage of this year's Olympics is so massive, it's going to overflow TV and spill right into cyberspace.
MSNBC, CNBC, Telemundo, Oxygen. Olympics coverage will be all over NBC Universal.
NBC invests so much in this. They paid $894 million for the rights for this year's telecast.
TV Guide entertainment critic Matt Roush also says that between the IOC and NBC, sports fans will be offered OOD, Olympics on Demand.
If you miss things or want to see things again, see fuller versions of things, you can go online and catch it there.
Besides sports, China's suppression of dissent means political journalists will be out in force. Evan Haining, 103.5 FM, WTOP Radio.
WTOP Radio News Time 7:36. Okay, a truck driver who spilled tons of dirt along a Seattle-Washington highway and backed up traffic for hours just really had to go to the bathroom. Police say the driver was trying to ease the rig to the side of a highway Friday morning so he could take care of nature's call. Instead, the wheels of his truck skipped down an embankment and dumped its contents, 49 tons of river sediment. The 27-year-old driver cited for driving with wheels off the road, and his trucking company will be billed for the cleanup. Who's going to be billed for those false 911 calls when that fellow who just left the Subway shop decided he didn't like his sandwiches? Instead of, well, he did complain and nothing happened, so he called 911. This is in Jacksonville. The sheriff's office says that he called back because police hadn't shown up, so they finally sent someone out to talk to him. Witnesses inside the store say the man, identified as Reginald Peterson, started screaming at everyone inside when his Subway sandwiches weren't the way he wanted them, with everything on it. Employees closed the store, locked the door to keep him from returning. According to the report, the officer who showed up at the scene tried to calm Peterson, explain to him the proper use of 911. He didn't want to listen, so he was put under arrest. And at his request, those terrible sandwiches were destroyed. WTOP News Time, 7:37.
What can you expect from your auto insurance? How about saving up to $600